Hello Internet, I'm JKCK, back again to do my Day 1 territory battles. We'll be starting as normal on the light side planet of Coruscant. I normally like to work left to right, so we'll start in the bottom left mission, and we'll be going with my Galactic Republic Jedi Master Kenobi team with General Kenobi and Padme. And then we're also going to take Jedi Knight Anakin and Ahsoka Tano. And Jedi Knight Anakin is useful in this mission for the healing immunity he puts on his basic. Helps defeat one of the mechanics. Or maybe not, maybe I shouldn't say defeat, work around. Now let's go do a mass assist to get rid of that taunt. Now I like to go after the medic first. So spam that event special when you can. It doesn't really matter who I put this on. And I'm just going to do the middle one. No one really needs damage immunity. And give her mass assist back. Get that third stack of the event special onto the boss. Now that it's on him, we got healing immunity on him. Now when we take him down to 0, he can't go back up to max, and you can very quickly take out their entire team. Because once he has 3 stacks, one hit will kill one of his sides, and then the final hit kills him. Healing immunity is very nice in this fight. Yeah, I'm gonna save her special. And again, just spam that event special as often as you can. And once the first healer is dead, you can move to the second healer. And it's probably time to move to the boss, because one more event special and he's now vulnerable. Every time you kill him, one of his sides will die. And then you can just finish him off with a tap. Alright, for the next mission, I use my Jedi Knight Cal team. They don't have healing immunity, but they overpower him with DPS. I use my leftover Jedi Master Mace team here. Jedi Master Mace, Jocasta, Shaak, and Aayla. I say leftover because I'm going to be using the rest of that team in the Mace Windu Kit Fisto required fight later on. So I can use the event special right away, might as well do that. Use that first one to give everyone an armor shred, event special. Throw out some damage. Got a nice amount of dispels on this team. Shaak T's basic. Knight Cal's basic. Jocasta's special. Is that the event special again? Alright, so that kills off that guy. Since we don't have healing immunity, I'm just going to go after the sides themselves. The sides are a little bit less stiff, chunky hit point wise than the boss there in the middle, so it won't take you quite as long to get through them. Let's do some basics here to finish out the first round. There's nothing to dispel, so I'm just going to do a basic with her for now. And insta-kill the other healer. And we got the stun on this one. Again, just spam that event special when you can. Go back to being on that second healer again. Yeah, I guess we'll go to the event special. I get that third stack on him. Get rid of taunt again. Just get rid of him permanently. And finish him off. No healing immunity, but team gets really good damage once if you have the Omicron. Once you get to the Impetuous Assault, and even without it, it's still even if you don't have the Omicron, it's still a pretty good team. So for the next mission, the top Jedi only mission, I like to use my Jedi Master Luke team. There are probably some better makeups for this team, but I've been using this specific version for a long time, so just kind of grandfathered in and keep using it. There's probably some better replacement Jedi, like you really don't need Obi-Wan in there anymore. But it works. This is a nice team. Jedi Master Luke, KAM, Grandmaster Yoda, Obi-Wan, and Hermit Yoda. I like the double ability blocks from Obi and Jedi Master Luke. Again, no healing immunity on the team, so you have to use the event special and work your way through everyone, but pretty easy. Alright, so we'll get some ability blocks out there. Calling Grandmaster Yoda. Steal those buffs and pass them around. And then we'll do the event special. Call Hermit Yoda because he's the only one who's not currently dazed. So yeah, so normally you use that event special. Normally in this mission, everyone ends up using Jedi Master Luke's granted ability on Jedi Master Luke because he normally is the only one who ends up not being dazed. But like I said, right now Hermit Yoda isn't dazed, so I can do that on him. And Hermit Yoda can do it back on Jedi Master Luke. Now we'll go ahead and go after the healer. Put this on cam. The event special. And back on the healer. And again, with no healing immunity, you're just going to go directly after these extra units. Never really do the taunt with old Ben. I just mainly use him for the ability blocks. And I'm going to steal the buffs. I'm just going to go ahead and pass them around. I like to save his ultimate for the next round. For quite a while, when this game mode came out, this particular event was bugged, and if you used the ultimate here in Wave 1, this boss would become unkillable, and you'd be stuck here in Wave 1 with no way of killing the boss to advance. I'm always just leery of that. I'm near positive that they've actually removed it and fixed it, but since you don't need the ultimate for Wave 1, you might as well save it. That way you can spam all of your specials here in Wave 2. And get everything out of the way, get everyone your armor shreds and all your special things, steal the buffs and pass them around. Because one of the things that the ultimate does is it refreshes everyone's cooldowns. So now you just used all your special abilities and now you have them all back again. So yeah. Give it to Jedi Master Luke. Okay. Don't need to steal buffs and pass them around quite yet because we already did that. Go after the clone commander. Give him an armor shred. That event special. Killed off one of their sides, and now all they have left is Lord Vader himself. Can definitely put this on auto. And for the final mission, this is the one that requires Mace Windu and Kit Fisto and three other Jedi. So I use KBeq, and then the two left over from my Jedi Master Mace team, Depa, Boba, and TemGd. See up there? Oh, hey, it's right there. Depa makes this a very nice battle because she prevents revives, so it's this is a full auto team. And normally, when you do this mission, you can sometimes fight to try and get people permanently dead, because the healers can res people in. But with Depa on the team, there won't be any resing going on, so then it just becomes wasted turns by the medic trying to mez them in. I find it's a lot of times it's just easier to go after the Royal Guards directly, since they're going to, as soon as someone gets into the yellow, they're going to force taunt, so you can just go after them, and you can largely ignore the healer. And we got to the third stage of event special, and she was the one who got insta-killed. I do like to take it off auto here. Well, at least, take it off auto. I like to target Jedi Anakin. If you can get him, normally if you can get him down to the yellow, you can oftentimes get him killed after the Royal Guards stop taunting, because they only taunt for a turn. Nope, they got him healed up. That's a bummer. Because now once he gets into the yellow again, he's going to start taunting. Or their Royal Guards are going to start taunting. Ah, that was very nice though, but the mass assist was enough to kill him off, so... Now let's go ahead and stay on the Royal Guards. And they're probably going to kill off my Mace. It's not a big deal. Don't need Mace to finish this fight. The rest of the team is the one doing the work. Oh. Mace survived. So it finishes the ground missions. We'll do the fleet mission. Profundity is best here, but I put my executor ships into operations today, so I end up shifting my Profundity over to the middle zone. So I'm going to use my Raddus here instead. I'm going to bring in Rey's Millennium Falcon and the tank, MG-100, and you're going to bring in Comeuppance, Poe, and Resistance X-Wing, and that should be enough. I just want to make sure you bring in Comeuppance as the first reinforcement. This is pretty much a full auto mission. But I do like to leave it manual, at least until we get to bringing in that first reinforcement. Alright, so we'll bring in Comeuppance, do his mass assist, and then I'll just put it on auto. And whether you bring out Poe or whether you bring out Resistance X-Wing second is not really a too big a deal. Poe does some really nice single target damage, but Resistance X-Wing assists a lot, so they both have some nice things that they do. And either way, we're going to get to Ultimate here pretty soon, and once we get rid of their capital ship, it's all over. Goodbye. And we get our 5th reinforcement, so it's a 5-on-2. So if you don't have your Profundity available, Raddus is a very good replacement for day one. That finishes off light side planet. We'll move over to the middle planet of Corellia, and I like to start here in the middle. It's the open mission. I always like to start with the open mission on the middle planet. So we will use my Grand Moff Tarkin team with dark side clones. This is a good place to use them if you've got them worked up for the raid, which I do. Mine are all Relic 9. I don't know how much lower this team works here, but it works very well at the Relic 9 level. I do target TIE Fighter Pilot first, and I just put it on full auto and kill TIE Fighter Pilot off first, and then Recon Trooper, or Scout Trooper, I mean. Recon Trooper is third. And then the healer, and then the tank. Or the healer and tank can get tied together. Second wave is pretty much the same. Go after TIE Fighter Pilot. And then go after Scout Trooper, and then Recon Trooper. Always trying to get the damage guys out first. Or Recon Trooper, and after he's dead, I do kill Imperial Officer off first. Or I should say, next. And then I go back to healer tank. Imperial Officer is more of a support. So, kill the damage off, kill the supports, kill the healer, kill the tank. So long as you can either dispel or do the rest of the killing before the tank can taunt. That's a good order to kill things. Next mission will be the Jabba mission. At Relic 5, it's not too hard to have your whole Hutt Cartel team reliced up to this level. Normal team is Krsantan and Boba, Boushh, and Skiffguard Lando, and if you have them at least at Relic 5, then just go in and put it on auto. Don't even really need to worry about any guided targeting, just away at payout. And once you get to wave 2, might want to target young Han first just because he's the main damage dealer, but even if you didn't do that, it's still going to be a pretty easy fight. And some of the later missions, Qi'ra can do some good damage, but she doesn't do that much in this one. So the tier 1 enemies aren't nearly as dangerous as some of the later days. And my Boushh and my Skiff Guard Lando are only Relic 5, so it's not... if you can do this mission, it should be a pretty easy walk in the park. I mean, if you're eligible to do the mission. So we'll go ahead and do the Aphra mission up top now. And I pretty much like to just use my Rey team. So I'm going to bring in Rey. Let's see, where's my resistance? I'll bring in my Jedi Training Rey and BB-8. And then Ben Solo. And you can do this on auto, but I also find that a lot of times Rey will use ultimate or use her lifeblood too much, so let's go ahead and run this manual. Probably shouldn't have used the dispel there since I'm going to get stuck behind taunt now, but well. I'll do the AE. Pump some more lifeblood over on... I don't know who they're favoring right now, but I always call him BB-8 because he'll call in another assist. I'll do her saber throw. Gets rid of him, so now we can go back over to TIE Fighter Pilot. As before, you want to kill the damage off first if you can, so you're going to go TIE Fighter Pilot, then Scout. Yeah, we'll go ahead and go into Ultimate. That way they can't beat up on our guys. A lot of different days I'll be saving Ultimates for second wave, but this particular fight, not really a big deal. And you'll get back to ultimate pretty quick anyways. So next target's going to be Scout Trooper. I am going to save BB-8's third ability for the next wave. So she's at half health. We're not going to do Lifeblood here. Let's do a basic to help her siphon. She siphons a decent amount of health when she does a basic, so probably going to do another round of basics with Rey to try and get her health back up to a decent level before we do another Lifeblood. There's another basic. Okay, now she's at like, I don't know, 75% or so. She can go ahead and do a round of Lifebloods. Maybe I'll wait one more. I'll do one more basic. Everyone else is just mainly doing basics to keep their cooldowns intact for the next wave. It's always nice to go into the next wave with as many of your abilities off cooldown as possible. So we'll go ahead and do the third ability. Give everyone 100% turn meter. We're going to go after Scout Trooper. Go and throw that scythe blade. And we'll do that third ability to kill him off. And we're going to go after Recon Trooper because he's the only damage who's left. Save our Dispel this time, just in case the tank starts taunting. And we'll go into Ultimate. Call BB-8, that way he can call another assist. I'm just going to do a basic here because I think her life is still a little bit on the low side. So now we'll go after the Imperial Officer and do a round of Lifebloods. Looks like they're attacking Ben, so I'll give it to him this time. Normally it's either going to be Ben or JTR that they go after. It doesn't really matter. I just try and move it back and forth to whoever is their target. BB-8 dodges enough that normally they don't go after him. His third ability, give everyone turn meter again. Little bonus protection. And we can even go into Ultimate again already. Or you can just put it on auto and let the game finish it out. There's pretty much no way you can lose it at this point. Okay, so we'll finish this out with the fleet mission. And like I said, normally this is where you'd want to use your Executor, but I put most of my Executor side ships into operations, my Houndstooth, my Razor Crest. So I'm going to end up using my Profundity. I'll get your Rebel ships out. And you're going to bring in Millennium Falcon, and you also have your Outrider that you had to use in light side as a required ship. So I use Hans, Millennium Falcon, and Rebel Y-Wing. And then just coming with the standard Rogue One, Phantom, Cassian, and then Biggs. And really Rogue One is typically enough. I like to go straight after their Imperial TIE Bomber since he's the only one that really causes problems with that burning. Yeah, that's the one I want. As long as he's alive. I was going to go and do the single target attack. He's going to start taunting again, but that basic does a decent amount of damage. It wasn't debuffed, so no point in using the special. It's going to do a basic here since it does more damage. Like I said, I really want to kill that TIE Bomber off before he starts taunting again. Or before he does burning again, I mean. Burning dispels all your buffs and it prevents you from doing calling assists. Now we're stuck behind taunt. Okay, no longer stuck behind taunt, so now we're going to go after TIE Advanced. He's the main damage dealer on the field. You can call Rogue 1 twice. You can call HansMF Falcon twice. They both do pretty good damage. Alright, now he's dead. I'll go after Imperial TIE Fighter. Still going to go after Imperial TIE Fighter. And now we can go after TIE Interceptor. And we'll bring in Phantom next. His third ability does some nice damage, so. And the more assists you get, the faster this mission goes, but yeah, I'm getting kind of, well, I've got a bit of assists there, but getting a lot of single target attacks that aren't drawing any assists, so. But you can see the team's never really in any too awful danger, so. Not a mission you're likely to lose. Just want to make sure you get TIE Bomber out of there as fast as possible. And that really holds true whether you bring in Executor or whether you bring in Profundity like I am. And that final Houndstooth was a summoned unit, so you don't actually have to kill him. Okay, so now we'll go to the special mission with Qi'ra and Young Han. This is where I like to use my Leia. If you've got Leia, Drogon, and R2, this is a really simple full auto. I put my R2 into operation, so I'm going to bring in Admiral Raddus, and you kind of want to keep an eye on this one. It's not, I mean, it's still almost always a win. It's just, I don't trust the AI. So we're going to go ahead and put Drogon under stealth, targeting TIE fighter pilot there. He's the big damage, so we want to get him out first. Do his AE. Put the assist onto Leia. She takes the most turns, so it's going to do the most damage that way. Oh, that's weird. We can go for Stormtrooper Commander. Well, I guess we will call in Drogon. Okay. Now we'll go after Scout Trooper. So the Rebels don't have to worry about taunt, so the Rebels can go after anyone they want. Now we're going to go after Recon Trooper. Just use those specials on him. I want to get him dead as fast as possible since he's the main damage. I'm going to throw her Stagger out. I'm actually going to hit Stormtrooper because I want to get rid of his turn meter. I'm going to save her special now that we're almost done with the wave. I'm going to finish this out with basics. That way we have our abilities off cooldown for the second wave. Now Veers is the dangerous guy here, so you want to go right after him. Need to get him killed as fast as possible. I'm actually going to give this to Raddus because Qi'ra and Young Han are likely to die off pretty soon, so even though they've got more turn meter and they're going to be going pretty soon, Again, I'm going to put Drogon under stealth just to help avoid the fact of them killing him off. He is our main damage. Call him in to assist. Keep going after Veers. And you notice that whenever the three rebels can go around taunt, but whenever Qi'ra or young Han takes a turn, they end up going to one of the guys who is taunting. So you do end up having to retarget Veers. Another reason why running on auto isn't always going to work as well with this makeup. That's going to do a basic. That should be enough to kill Veers off. And now we can go to TIE Fighter Pilot as the next biggest damage dealer. Stark's a support, so we'll kill him off next. The AE is going to kill him, so I'll go after Stormtrooper Commander as the healer, since this is going to kill off Stark. At this point, you can put out an auto. Just finish off the healer, finish off the two tanks, and you're done. Alright, so that's the middle planet done. We will go to the dark side planet. Going to start with the Lord Vader solo mission, because that's super easy. Just full auto, fire and forget. Don't even worry about it. Second wave is just a matter of waiting for your Vader to get to ultimate, so you can start doing enough damage. All right. Now we'll go to the bottom left mission. I use my Reva team here. Reva, GI, 7th, 5th, and 8th. And really all you have to do is target Droideka and put it on auto. I want to make sure you target Droideka first, though. As long as he's targeted, they'll take him out, and from there it's pretty simple. And if you were playing this manual, like most other fights here, I'd be doing a bunch of basics instead of wasting specials. But nothing too particularly dangerous here on this second wave. You have enough AEs at your disposal to take out the B2s without very much trouble, even being stuck behind taunts, so they're not going to last too long. Once they're dead, there's really no other dangers, because Newt doesn't do that much, and that battle droid in the back isn't doing very much either. Alright, so now we'll go to this top right mission. I like to use my Supreme Leader Kylo Ren team here. Round out the mission with Kylo Ren Unmasked, General Hux, Sith Trooper, and First Order Officer. Again, going after Droid Deca first, do that poke, get him stunned. Pass it back. Really do want to get him killed off. Don't want to do an AE, because the AE is going to anger the Magna droids. And I'd like to do some damage on this B2 before we get too far. I like keeping my buffs here, so do the mass assist on him. Basic and Sith Trooper should assist, and that'll kill him off. So we still have our buffs. Let's throw an ability block out there. They're already mad, so we can do AEs. Pass the turn over. And we'll just go into ultimate. I'm going to go after the battle droid more than anything else, because they're doing more damage. Let's finish that off with some basics. Yeah, basics fine here. Get more ultimate meter. Gonna lose our siphon stacks going into wave 2 anyways. And might as well just call a mass assist. Get more attacks, and almost got to full term here. Let's see. I'm going to target the spy when I do this. Maybe I'll get... Yep, I got an assist, but not enough damage. Okay, we'll go back into ultimate. Once you get into the second ultimate, it's done. They can't recover. You got too many rounds of damage immunity ahead of you. Even if the rest of your team is dead, it wouldn't matter. Alright, so the bottom right mission here. I like to use my mercenary team. The Baylan Skull, Shinhati, and Merrick with his Omicron. And then I also bring in Hondo and I like to bring in Jango. If you'd rather have another tank, you can bring a Ninth Sister. If you didn't use her with your Grand Inquisitor team, which I didn't, but having another mercenary on the team is nice because Merrick with his Omicron hits like an absolute truck, and anytime a mercenary does a special, they call him to assist, and so you just mow the enemy team down very quickly. You just want to make sure you take out Droideka first, so we'll call an assist there, and we actually will call Merrick in specifically. Going to use his middle ability. I'm going to save his third ability since that's a Dispel. And now I do want to take out that B2 as fast as possible. And now we're stuck behind the taunt, so now is when I'll end up using Balin's third ability. And she looks like she can ignore taunt, so we're going to go after the B2s, call him in. And we'll go ahead and use the ability block. Let's see. And since I'm going to do an AE here, the AE is going to kill off the B2. And this should call an assist on the B1 so we can whittle them down a little bit. One of the few times I'm going to use his AE damage because it'll kill off the final B1. And now we can just go ahead and I don't even really need, I can save his special there. And Shinhati calls an assist on her basic, so she doesn't need to do a special. That way I can save my specials for round 2. Round 2 is a little tricky because they've got Watt out there as well, so you got to decide whether you go after Watt first or whether you go after Droideka first. Watt has that tech that he just put on the Magna Guard. I am going to go after the Droideka first. A lot of times I would go after Watt first, but I'm going to try it this way. Alright, so we'll do his third ability to get rid of buffs and call the assist. Let's see, she can stun. Is that the stun? No, this is the stun, so I'm going to do that ability to stun him. Kill him off. Do his AE, I think will kill off. Yes, Droideka. So those are two things we wanted to do. We wanted to kill off Droideka and we wanted to kill off Watt. So mission accomplished, and the rest of this should be pretty simple. Alright, and then we will move over to the fleet mission. You're going to want to use your Executrix. And you have to bring in Scythe. You're going to bring in, we might as well grab that first. I'm going to bring in your Mark 6. You can bring in Mark 6 or Sith Fighter. I find Mark 6 to be more reliable. This is basically doing it the Bit Dynasty way. So you're going to bring a Defender, Tynan Interceptor, and then for your last two, most of the time I'd bring in Emperor Shuttle, Imperial TIE Fighter. I'll bring in a backup tank, and I'll bring Gauntlet for some healing just in case, but you never get to these, hardly. If it goes south in the beginning, you're not going to get to the point where you're going to need more reinforcements to save you. But the AI really doesn't like your Mark 6, so they're going to go after him a lot, which is why you bring him in here. Just going to do the special there to ability block them. And do your special on your TIE Fighter, get some AE damage out. Now just do a basic here to get 10 more stacks. They've got a decent amount of buffs on the field, so we're going to go ahead and use this middle ability to give us all a bunch of stacks of formation. And then we're going to go back after their Sun Fac. And call in TIE Defender. Use that stun over here on Hyena Bomber. And then go back after Sun Fac. Better use that heal on yourself because you're about to die. Speaking to Scythe. Again, we're under 10 stacks, so just do a basic here to get 10 more stacks. I'm going back after Sun Fac. Oh, man, we almost had him dead. That's all right. Should still be fine. Again, they've got a decent amount of buffs on the field, so we're going to go ahead and dispel all of those and get stacks of formation. You could make a decision here. It's a judgment call whether you want to do the middle ability to get 10 more stacks or whether you want to do the third ability for the debuffs. So I'm going to do the third ability for the debuffs. And now we're going after Hyena Bomber. Give us all our nice offensive buffs here. Now you bring in your tie-in Interceptor. That will dispel any buzz droids you currently have. We'll do the third ability as an AE. Try and kill off. Okay, we're under 10 stacks, so we're just going to do a basic to get 10 more. Oh, we only got 5 more. Basic should finish him. And now we'll go after Soldier. No one really needs a heal right now, so we're just going to do a basic here. I'm going to do that special, try and get him out. And we'll go ahead and call in Defender. Finish him off. So now all we have are their Vulture droids. We'll go ahead and do the ultimate. And the one on the right's a fake, so all we have to do is kill this one off, and we're done. So it's a perfect wave run. Nice and smooth. If you enjoyed watching, please like and subscribe, and stick around where I'll be doing my runs on my second account, Darth Balls. Thank you for watching.